She snapped in front of everyone. "Are you so broke you can't even buy one decent designer shirt?" I just smiled, said I'm sorry, and walked away. 2 weeks later, after seeing my post on Instagram, she screamed my name in the rain, but the one who opened the door was her best friend. The room fell silent for a second, then laughter erupted. She stood there, perfectly dressed, glass of champagne in hand, eyes glinting with mockery. "Are you so broke you can't even buy one decent designer shirt?" she said loudly enough for everyone to hear. I froze for half a breath. Her words didn't sting like they used to. They just felt empty. I smiled, a small, calm smile, one that said I was done. The laughter faded behind me, and for the first time her words felt empty. Behind me, the laughter faded into a dull hum. Maybe no one noticed how her voice trembled at the end. Maybe she didn't notice that I wasn't angry, just done. 2 weeks later, under a grey sky, she screamed my name in the rain outside my house. But when the door opened, it wasn't me standing there. It was her best friend, wearing my shirt. Back in college, I was the guy everyone forgot 5 minutes after meeting. I was the quiet guy everyone forgot. Clothes plain, hair unruly. Hardly anyone noticed me. I smiled like it didn't matter, but inside it stung more than I'd admit. But I worked hard. I didn't rely on my family's money, even though I could have. I could have relied on my father's success, but I wanted to earn my place myself. But I didn't want that life. I wanted to earn my place, to know I could build something myself. That's probably why I admired her so much. She was everything I wasn't, confident, graceful, always surrounded by people. The kind of girl who could turn a crowded hallway into her personal stage. Everyone wanted her attention. I just wanted her to know my name. At first it was innocent. I'd save her a seat in class, lend her my notes, help her with a project when she was running late. I even left her a small card once, handwritten, with a simple line. "You make hard days feel lighter." She never mentioned it. A week later, I heard her laughing with her friends in the cafeteria. "He's nice, but honestly, he's not really my type. I mean, look at him, he doesn't even own a car," they laughed. I smiled like it didn't matter, but it did. More than I cared to admit. After that, I stopped trying. I told myself she deserved someone who matched her world, and I clearly didn't. I buried myself in work, finishing my degree, then quietly joining one of the lower departments in my father's company, under a different last name. No one there knew who I really was. I started as a junior analyst, took notes in meetings, learned the ropes, and built my way up. Years passed. I changed. Not overnight, but gradually. The gym became routine. My posture straightened. My clothes fit better. I stopped hiding behind quiet politeness and started speaking when I had something to say. And slowly, people began to notice me for more than my background. I didn't think of her much anymore, at least that's what I told myself, until one evening I got a message. Her name popped up on my screen. "Hey, long time no see. We're doing a small reunion this weekend. You should come, it'd be great to catch up." I stared at it for a long time. The words looked friendly, but the tone, too polished. I scrolled through her profile out of curiosity. Everything about her screamed curated perfection, designer brands, vacation photos, captions about self-love. She looked exactly the same, maybe even better. But her eyes in the pictures, they looked colder. I almost ignored the invitation. Almost, but something in me, call it curiosity, maybe closure, wanted to see her again. Not to prove anything, not to show off, just to know whether she had changed, or whether she was still the same girl who laughed when I wasn't good enough. So I typed back, "Sure, I'll be there." Then I set the phone down and leaned back in my chair. Outside, the city lights flickered across my window. Bright, distant, untouchable. For the first time in years, I felt a strange calmness. This time I wasn't the boy chasing her approval. This time I'd let her see exactly what she chose to walk away from. The place looked expensive. A rooftop lounge, glass walls, soft jazz playing over the sound of clinking glasses. Everyone was dressed like they'd stepped out of a magazine. I walked in wearing a simple shirt. Neat, clean, nothing flashy. I didn't care to impress anyone. But the moment I entered, I felt the shift in the air. Eyes glanced, whispers followed. And then I saw her. She looked stunning. She always did. Long black dress, perfect makeup, that same confident smirk she used to have in college. When her gaze landed on me for a second, her smile faltered. Then she laughed, walked toward me, and hugged me like we were old friends. "Wow, you actually came. I wasn't sure you'd remember me." "Hard to forget," I replied, keeping my tone neutral. She giggled, looping her arm through mine as she led me toward a circle of her friends. "Everyone, this is, well, remember him. He used to help me with all those boring projects in college." There was laughter. The kind that isn't loud but cuts deep anyway. I smiled politely. "Yeah, those were fun days." She poured herself a drink, leaned closer. "So what are you up to these days?" She leaned in, voice sweet but edged with mockery. I felt her friend's eyes flick toward me, waiting for a reaction. Her voice was sugar-coated, but the edge was there. I shrugged. "Something like that." "That's cute," she said, smiling. "You always were the humble type." Her friends laughed again. One of them, some guy in an overpriced suit, added, "Hey, at least he's consistent." The group burst out laughing. For a moment I thought about leaving right then, but part of me wanted to see how far she'd go. Later that evening, as the music got louder and the drinks flowed freer, she called across the room, "Hey, come here." She was standing near the bar with her friends, phone in hand, clearly a few drinks in. When I walked over, she tilted her head, gave me a mock-serious look. "Tell me something. How do you always manage to look so simple? It's like your brand." A few people laughed. Someone even clapped. Her laugh rang out, sharp and hollow, echoing across the room. I smiled faintly and walked away. The words echoed louder than the music. Even the bartender stopped moving for a second. I looked at her. She expected me to get angry, embarrassed, maybe storm out. But I didn't. I smiled. A real smile, small, calm, the kind that says I've already moved past you. "I'm sorry," I said softly. "I didn't mean to make your party look cheap." There was silence. Just for a breath. Then the laughter resumed, louder, emptier this time. I turned and walked toward the exit. Behind me I could hear her voice, high-pitched, defensive. "Oh, come on, it was just a joke. He's so sensitive." I didn't look back. The night air outside was cool, sharp against my skin. For some reason, it felt cleaner than the air inside that glittering room. As I waited for the elevator, I caught my reflection in the mirrored door. No anger, no humiliation, just quiet relief. Because right there, in that moment, I realized something. She hadn't changed at all, and maybe that was the closure I needed. When I got home, my phone buzzed with notifications. A few photos from the party had already made it online. Her group posing, drinks raised high. I was in the background of one of them, half turned away, smiling faintly. The caption read,